Hi all, good evening. This is Mohan welcoming you all on behalf of TCS Ion for another interesting jobinar. So I personally thank all of you for taking the time out and joining us today. I can guarantee you, I can assure you that the next 1 hour is going to be very exciting, very informative, and definitely worth your time. Okay. So today's session, in more than one way, is also going to be a icing on the cake, because we have been talking a lot about supply chain as an industry, how it is evolving. So we are going to hear from a leading industry expert also. So what is a TCS Jobinar? Well, this is a program through which we reach out to bright minds like you. We try and give you all a 360-degree perspective of what is happening in the world of job, what are the skill sets, what kind of technology disruption is happening, and we try and give you all relevant information to help you get that much closer to your dream job. So once again, thanks from TCS, and I thank you all for taking the time out. Okay. Operations and supply chain, right? So this is the term supply chain. I think it's become like a very hot topic. I mean, ever since COVID broke out and the world was thrown into chaos, supply chain has kind of been garnering a lot of attention in everybody's mind space. More so, right? Just as the world was recovering from the aftermath of COVID, we had President Trump, the tariff. So it's becoming even more relevant, particularly for a country like India, which is trying to position itself as a credible alternative to China, right? Which is a very, very big ask from the international community. And you can do your Google research. A lot of research reports are projecting up to I mean, there are reports that are even suggesting a 15% CAGR growth of supply chain over the next decade, which is a staggering number. And technology is disrupting. Technology is disrupting every industry, more so in supply chain, where you have concepts like IoT-enabled supply chain, the digital twins, AI-driven operations management, and all are taking the world by storm. So just to throw some more light, and it is always good to hear it from the horse's mouth, right? So we have a very, very experienced and a very credible industry voice who is joining us today, who will be giving, a very, very industry perspective to the whole jobinar. So I'm very pleased to introduce our expert today, Dr. Ashok Sharma. So Ashok.
Good morning, good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, Ashok is the Global Head of Supply Chain Process Consulting and IT Service Management and SIM Consulting in the TCS Cognitive Business Operation Division. Ashok has a great pedigree. He has done his BE in Production Engineering from Jadavpur University and a postgraduate diploma in business management from IIM Calcutta, right? Jadavpur University and IIM Calcutta. You can't ask for a better pedigree. He has done his PhD in design thinking from Sister Nivedita University. He's a Six Sigma black belt from ASQ, PMP from PMI USA, and he's also a certified assessor of the Tata Business Excellence Model. Ashok has published several articles in leading journals and authored best-selling books, a book called Lean Principles and Appreciation in BPO. He has also been a winner of the Tata Business Leadership Award and Tata Innovista Award. Recently, Ashok has led in designing a curriculum for computer science and business systems in collaboration with leading experts from industry and academia. The course is now taught in 100+ leading engineering institutes across India in the undergraduate level. There is a lot more that Ashok brings to the table, but you know what we meant by bringing pedigree and quality. So a very warm welcome, Ashok.
Thank you very much, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, so now now that we have spoken so much about SEM, we understand, why there is so much of us. So my first question. So Ashok, I have two questions for you. I'll split it into two parts. The first question is, why I won't say all of a sudden why there has been so much of a buzz around SCM in the last 2 to 3 years, right? Everyone seems to be talking about it. This seems to be the talking point in all campuses and among all job seekers. So that is the first question. And the second question, Ashok, is how is technology changing the field of supply chain management and what should students be aware of? And yeah, maybe I will add another question. How does the job market look like for somebody who's trying to make a career in supply chain, right? The scope in India and abroad. So 3 questions: the buzz, the how technology is changing, and the how does the job market look like. So over to you, Ashok.
Okay, thanks, Mohan. All these 3 are very, very relevant questions, but I will go one by one in the specific order which you have said. The first question is very important, and I may spend a little more time in that why there is so much buzz around SCM. Okay, it is quite understandable why supply chain management has suddenly become a hot topic in the campuses, in the job seekers in India and across the globe. There are several factors, and I will name them one by one. I think the most important factor is there is an enhanced focus on efficiency and cost reduction. Currently, as you know, the industry, I mean, the global economy is heading for a recession. Why I say it's a recession? As per the United States, if you have decrease in GDP for 2 consecutive quarters, then you call it a recession in the United States. In the first quarter of the 2025, that is from January to March 2025, there is a shrinkage in their GDP. Second quarter, that is April to June, they are expecting there will be a further shrinkage. So US is going to a recession. China is struggling. So as a result of which we can expect a global recession. India, if of course, to a large extent shielded. But now in the recent event, what has happened in this Indian subcontinent in the last 2-3 days, very unfortunate. Why I say 2-3 days, 2-3 weeks, starting with Pahalgaon, it is again could be a difficult time. Now, if there is a recession, all companies has to reduce cost, and supply chain management and procurement is a area where companies can focus to reduce cost significantly. It plays a pivotal role in achieving cost reduction goals by streamlining processes, optimizing inventory, negotiating better rates with the supplier. So as a result, it is quite natural that there will be increased focus on supply chain management and procurement. So that is given. But that is not the only reason. Then there are other reasons. Second, I would say increased global interconnectedness. The world is more interconnected now than ever before.
Right.
And this with manufacturing, sourcing, and distribution spanning across continents. Like if you look at Apple, the design is made in US, the manufacturing happens in China and now increasingly in India, and the products are sold in Europe and all over the world. Distribution, etc., happens all over the world. So this creates a significant complexity and a high demand of professionals who can manage these intricate global networks. So that is second. Third, I think, is the rise of e-commerce. The explosive growth of e-commerce has fundamentally changed how goods are bought and sold. Right. This has placed immense pressure on the supply chains to be faster, more nimble, more efficient, and more responsive to the consumer demands for quick delivery.
Right.
Lastly,
Ashok, when we order something from, let's say, Zepto, and it arrives in 10 minutes, you are trying to say that there is an army of supply chain who are behind that, right? Which makes them deliver the product in 10 minutes, right? Is that how it is?
Right. The other reasons are the technological advancement. New technologies like artificial intelligence, generative AI, blockchain, big data analytics, Internet of Things are revolutionized this supply chain. And the people who have knowledge or appreciation, by knowledge I do not mean coding knowledge or development knowledge alone, but functional knowledge and appreciation of these technologies is also are in great demand. And then finally, if I say finally, there is a growing awareness of disruption and risk. Recent global events, fairly recently 2-3 years back, COVID-19 was a big event once in a century type of event. But more recently, geopolitical tension, war or war-like situations across the globe, whether it is Ukraine, Russia, other parts of the globe, Israel, Gaza, etc. Now, unfortunately, in our subcontinent, all these, and now then there is another factor in the last 2-3 months, high tariff imposition, the tariffs imposition by the president of United States, all have exposed vulnerabilities of traditional supply chain. So it is important that there are professionals who understand these complexities and have resource and have the ability to overcome them or address them. So that is another thing. So all these reasons has resulted in an increased importance of procurement and supply chain operations to the C-suite. The increasing importance of supply chain has translated into very strong demand for skilled professionals, leading to, I would say, attractive salaries, growth opportunities across various industries. And the beauty is that supply chain cuts across industries. All industries need supply chain professionals. And the role ranges from analysts to planners to managers to directors, etc. And they offer diverse career paths. So I had a longish answer. I'm sorry for that, but I thought that it is important for all of us to appreciate that so many factors are in play and how it is going to shape the supply chain. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you, Ashok. And I would just like to add a small perspective from my side. I have a slide to share, Ashok, just talking about the sectoral growth perspective. So I request us if Sonali can.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sonali, can you share the? Yeah. So team, we picked this data recently. So this was published in Economic Times. So if you see, this has been a trend, right? Like now, if you see in the slowly, IT always occupied the top position in the Indian job market, right? But now slowly that is changing. There is a lot of traction in BFSI, and now supply chain is kind of becoming the hottest sector. And this is just an illustration, right? If you see the highest increment, right? Which are the sectors that are going to provide the highest increments? This is for the next year, but if you're going to take a 3 to 4 year perspective or a decade perspective, it is looking even more good. You can see engineering, design services, automotive, vehicle manufacturing, purely SEM play there. Retail, absolute SEM. GCCs, a lot of GCCs are moving their supply chain roles to India. Engineering, manufacturing, again, supply chain. Professional services, a lot of supply chain comes under that. So if you see in the top 10 sectors that are going to dole out the highest increments and the highest offers, at least 7 of them are from a supply chain background. So we just thought we will share this with you. Thank you. So Ashok, now that we have spoken, so you are representing the industry. I know you manage a very large portfolio. What is it that you hire, Ashok? Right? What are the I know you may not be able to talk about everything, but maybe the top 2-3 specific hard and soft skills that you look for when hiring supply chain professionals in your team.
Okay. In TCS, supply chain practice is fairly big. When I say fairly big, we have close to 10,000 professionals in TCS in supply chain. But that is minuscule to the overall demand. TCS is just a drop in the ocean. Although we are the largest company, but still we are a drop in the ocean of the people that is needed. But we, and as well as in the industry, we supply chain professionals are hired across all levels. Freshers, juniors, middle level, and also senior management professionals. Now, some of the roles, job roles and the skill sets in the supply chain are shown over here. The first important skill set, job role is category managers. The managers who will be able to, just a minute, who will be able to, category in a supply chain is a particular area, or procurement is a particular area, like let's say IT is a category.
Okay.
Then we have this Marketing services is a category.
Okay.
In a manufacturing organization or MRO, maintenance, materials, repairs, and operation, that is a category.
Okay.
So there are various categories. So
Okay.
category managers, category assistants will do strategic planning. They will bring in sourcing expertise, etc. And these are some of the, skill sets are given below. But category manager is a significant number of people are selected as a category manager or category assistant. Apart from that, other job roles includes procurement specialist, people who has, because these days procurement is not done manually, it is done into some e-procurement tool. It could be, some of them names are SAP Ariba, Coupa, iValua, etc. So the procurement specialist has to work on this tool, not necessarily that they have to come with that knowledge, but at the junior level, those procurement specialists get selected based on their fundamental or foundational knowledge on supply chain, and then they get trained. In TCS, we get them trained into this tool. And some of the other areas, other skill sets are written there.
Right.
Then you have logistic controllers, inventory managers, a very important post, or inventory analyst, because inventory, if you know, you need to have like the Goldilocks porridge just right. Not too much inventory means you are locking money.
Right.
It is increasing your cost. Too little inventory means that perhaps you will not be able to service the your demand, because if you have a stock out situation and the consumers have multiple choices, buyers have multiple choices, they will not wait for you. So you need to have the right type of inventory, and for that analysis is needed. And to come up with the right inventory, you need demand planners, another role, supply chain analyst, transportation manager, even customer service manager, because supply chain has got two sides. One is the buy side, where you buy raw material, then you make it, and then you sell it, and then you distribute it, and then there are after sale service. So for all these selling part, you need customer service manager. So these are some of the roles that we do. We hire at different levels, as we said, that in the junior level, middle level, senior level, etc. The hard skill that we essentially look for, especially if we are buying, in taking people in the junior level, are essentially some fundamental knowledge of supply chain and procurement. And in the middle level, we look for some amount of hands-on experience in some of the tools. This is not mandatory, but if they have, that is good. Otherwise, we train them. And of course, in the senior level, we need team building skills in motivation, motivating the team, etc. Understanding the business aptitude, strategic thought leadership, etc. But across all levels, which we see is what is important, not only we see, it is important to be a successful supply chain manager, is the good communication skill, both written and verbal, team building or collaboration skill, because you have to work with a diverse set of people and teams. And then, of course, if you have some quantitative orientation in some of the roles, like analyst roles, they are very, very relevant. So that's in a nutshell are the hard and soft roles, skills.
Okay. Okay. And yeah.
This is a career path. Typically, supply chain professionals start, as you can see over here, as an analyst. And there are two career paths, actually. One is the individual contributor role, and another is the managerial role. In the individual contributor role, you can start as a process analyst, then become a senior process analyst, become a subject matter expert, category manager, and then finally the category manager. So it's important to stress here that individual contributor does not necessarily mean that they are in a different level or not so high level as the managers, because we have seen for some of the individual contributors, the contribution, the impact they made to the company bottom line is significant. And
Right.
sometimes they get higher salary than the managers also, especially the category managers, SMEs, etc. can attract or can demand higher compensation package compared to the managers. And in the manager role, of course, you still start as a process analyst, but beyond the time you become as a team lead, assistant manager, and then manage a entire or it's part of the supply chain operations. Yeah. So these are the career paths.
Great. Great. And my next question was going to be around this debate about engineering non-engineering. You did touch upon already, Ashok. So will it be a safe assumption? So there is generally this notion, Ashok, that only engineers or people from a quantitative background only can make a career in supply chain. But I think the charts that showed it was really useful, right? Like, I mean, I could see a lot. So I guess that is not the case, Ashok. I mean, even non-engineering
I
students.
would say that I would say it is a total myth, especially
Okay.
in today's world. Perhaps
Okay.
it will have some relevance 15 years, 20 years, 30 years back, or
Okay.
in the industrial age. We are not
Okay.
in the industrial age now, we are in the digital age. So in the
Right.
digital age, it is a total myth. While engineering background and some quantitative skills may definitely help in some of the roles, but not
Right.
necessarily in all of the roles. It is
Right.
definitely not a showstopper. I know
Right.
very many successful professionals in this field with degree in humanities, with degree
Right.
in commerce.
Right.
Commerce, of course, is very relevant. Social sciences, and even I have seen a very successful professional whom I didn't know, and I asked her that what is your basic degree? She said I did hotel management, and first few years I worked in a hotel, and then
Yeah.
in a hotel, as you know, in supply chain is very relevant. So she has moved from hotel management to supply chain management.
Right.
And it is very important to have people from diverse backgrounds, because if you have very similar type of people, then your thought process will be similar. So it is the diverse background people bring in different perspective and skill set to the table, and it helps to build a diverse team, which is very critical for innovation and for critical for success. So I think, just to summarize, it's a complete myth. Some roles may need some quantitative analysis, but not definitely engineering. But I am not going to belittle the importance of engineering. In some areas, it is very relevant,
So,
but not in the supply
so
chain
it is role
management.
specific. There are some roles which will need engineering background, but there are a lot of other roles for different. So great. Okay. Brilliant. I hope
That's
because I
correct.
think this question would have been on the top of mind of a lot of the audience. So I thought I might as well ask. Okay. So audience, now what we will do is now that we have known, now that we have seen why supply chain is hot, why there is a lot of action, how do we kind of enable you or give you something that could help make you a career in supply chain? So we are launching the second cohort of our program on supply chain operations management with IIM Vizag. This is the second cohort. The first cohort was a grand success, and basis the success of first cohort, we are launching the second cohort. So I will walk you all through the basic details, right? So this slide, I think we have spoken a lot about why supply chain. There is a lot of data out there in Google. I request all of you, those who I know you would already have done your research, but yeah, there is a lot of literature available there, so you can go ahead and look at them. The collaboration with IIM Vizag, right? So I'm proud to say that this is in more than a way a first of a kind program. What we have managed to do with IIM Vizag for more than one reason, right? So usually, if you see, IIMs cater to working professionals, right? Because their programs are very costly. They're very they're in huge demand, and usually working professionals only manage to pay the that's such a high fees. But we when we started our discussion with IIM Vizag, we said that we want to make this course because we see supply chain as an industry. India is aggressively building its capability in manufacturing in supply chain, and so there is a social cost, there is a nation building cost, right? And we thought these two great organizations, TCS and IIM Vizag, we have a very social kind of obligation to make sure that in a very small way we try and contribute to this cause of the nation trying to position itself as a supply chain power. So we had multiple sessions and how do we make the program affordable to college students, final year grads, fresh graduates, and maybe working professionals, early jobbers, and we don't compromise, right, with the, and then the outcome is this beautiful program where I can vouch for the fact that it has anything and everything that you will find in any supply chain program that is being offered by any other IM, right? Absolutely. And at a price which is nearly 1/5 of what otherwise you'll have to pay, right? So what is the program? So we'll have live sessions conducted by two of the best in class supply chain professors from IM Vizag. We have a slide where we also look at these two professors, their background in detail. The sessions will be, it is a purely virtual online program. The sessions will be held on Sundays, first off, and there will be a lot of comprehensive. So the program is split into basically three things, right? One is your operation management, one is supply chain management, and the third most important is there are dedicated modules around technology, right? How technology, and more from a managerial function of technology, not from a user perspective, right? So how do managers make the decision which technology to invest? What is the cost to the firm? So a lot of managerial concepts will be discussed from a technology perspective, right? There are live lectures. So Harvard Business Reviews, right? This is what I was saying, right? We have not, even though the price is nearly 1/5 of a comparable product in the market, we have not compromised on anything. How we did that, we'll speak about that. Harvard Business Review will be there, right? It is a bread and butter of any IM course. So our course will also have Harvard Business Reviews. We will have 2 or even 3 simulations, minimum 2, maximum 3 simulations, which will be done on a Stanford-backed platform. This whole platform has been built and backed by Stanford University, right? Ivy League, right? This is the quality that you are getting. There will be recorded lectures. There will be ebooks that will be made available to all the students, right? These ebooks you will be able to access during the course of the program. And also for the first cohort, what we did was we made these lectures and ebooks available maybe up to 2 months after you have completed, so that we know you will be preparing and appearing for interviews. So it will be made available. 90 hours of experience learning, live lectures from 2 of the best in class, and the most important is there will be 3 interview opportunities for jobs in Codeman. This has a lot of conditions. We'll speak about it in a subsequent slide. Yeah, can we go to the next slide, please? Yeah, we spoke about this. What is the pedagogy? Expert-led live sessions, industry use cases, recorded session videos, peer networking. Another very important aspect is you will get a very good opportunity to network, to interact with your peers, people from supply chain, and also with the IM professors. So you can build onto your network, and there will be a lot of practical application oriented case study. So it is not just another program. So you will gain a lot. Yeah, can we go to the next slide, please? Yeah, who is eligible? And this is where I was saying that we because we know supply chain as an industry has something for everyone, right? It is one of those very few industries where it is background agnostic, if I may use the terminology, right? Just like what Ashok said, somebody from an arts background can make as successful a career as somebody from an IIT in supply chain, right? That is the fact, and there is a lot of real proof to this. So anybody in the final or pre-final year, they will be suitable job seekers, right? Somebody who has done their graduation, who are trying to get into good roles, they can do it. Working professionals, while we have we are confident that all will benefit. Maybe somebody within supply chain or other industries up to 2 to 5 year experience, they will also benefit immensely, because the technology portion, your technology keeps changing every year, every minute, every day, right? So you might be a little out of tune or out of date with technology, so you will have a lot to take away from the technology piece. So it is all of you can join this course and benefit. Yeah. Can we go to the next slide, please? Okay, the prerequisite is basic business knowledge, foundational understanding quantity. So when we say quantity analysis, you don't need to worry. What we are talking about is some basics. This almost all of us would have done it in even BCom students, commerce, science students, right? Something like a correlation, regression, time series analysis, and basic statistic probability, right? Those are the things. And anyway, we will upskill them. And the first two lectures, the professors spend a lot of time to bring everyone up to speed. So beyond that, there is nothing much that you need to have as a prerequisite.
Someone is saying the slides are not visible, but I think it is visible at my end at least.
Yeah, I can also see that. I can also see.
Maybe you have to drop whoever has written and rejoin quickly.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Okay, so the other striking feature about this program is we didn't want to make this program. See, usually what happens in online is you pay the money, you will get the certificate. In this case, it will not work like that because there is TCS, there is IIM Visa, and both these brands stand for credibility in the market, right? So there will be two certificates, two different certificates, right? You will have a certificate of participation, or you will have a certificate of completion. Is a proof that you have mastered all the skills. Certificate of participation may not be that proof, right? But we see that. So we have some stringent requirements around both attendance and minimum marks in all the modules. So for all those people who satisfy both these stringent requirements, right? Attendance of 70% and minimum marks of 50%, they will be given certificate of completion. Let's say that somebody for unavoidable reasons, right? They've scored very good marks, but they could not attend 70% lectures. Or the other way around, somebody has attended all the lectures, but they could not score 50% in all the modules. They will get certificate of participation. So you will have something to take away. But I would personally suggest, I will advise that the certificate of completion is a very, very good proof of you having mastered all the skills. And these are our professors we spoke about. I have I can vouch for you can just read through Professor Millen. He has his PhD, he has his fellowship. He has done it from IIM Calcutta. Professor Neena Pandey, she has done her PhD from IIM Bangalore. You can't get a better pedigree and better quality. And both are very, very respected, very well respected, and very, very well known figures in the field of supply chain. Somebody saying audio is not audible. Is it the same with all guys?
No, I can hear properly.
But it's coming fine for everyone.
Okay. What are the outcomes? There are, we will give 3 free add-on courses also. So see the list of features as so we have Harvard business cases, we have simulations, we have 3 ebooks, and TCS is further adding 3 free add-on courses, right? This will prep you up for this course, right? Even before you join this course, you will be given access to these 3 free programs. All of these otherwise cost, so you can go through these programs and get some basic understanding of topics like inventory management, vendor management, which will help you during the course. Job visibility, 3 interview opportunities for eligible learners, right? So I would request all of you to listen carefully because there are some qualifications here, so I don't want anybody to miss out on. So all those people who have completed the course successfully, who have a certificate of completion, they can take the national proficiency test. This comes at you can go to the TCS IIM website. You will see, I think it comes at a cost of 999 or 1,000 rupees. I don't know the exact price. So you have to pay for this and you take the national proficiency test and you clear it with 60% marks, right? Then all those who have a certificate of completion, who have cleared NPT with 60%, and all of those who are in the final year graduation, or those who have completed their graduation and who are job seekers, we will line up 3 interview opportunities with leading corporates, right? Now, the question is, what about me? I have 3 years of work experience. For them, we cannot guarantee, but having said that, we are in talks with multiple employers. We are expanding our network, and it is possible that we might line up some interviews for skilled people and experienced people also, but that we will know only towards the end of the program, depending on the kind of response we get from the employers. Okay.
Yeah, I have a point, Mohan. While
Yeah.
we line up interviews also for the experienced professionals, my experience in the industry says, if you are an experienced professional, if you have this completion certificate, if you upload this in LinkedIn, you will be flooded with job interview offers.
Thanks.
So even if we line up something, perhaps you will not pay attention to that. That is my experience.
Agree.
You make some changes in your LinkedIn profile with this job, and there are huge number of job requirements. Few days back, if you go to my LinkedIn, you will see that I have put up a job request, and I am flooded with so many requests for interview. So that is, LinkedIn is a very effective way of getting job offers for experience.
Right, and this
That's
will
all
help
I
them
want.
stand out, I guess, right, Ashok? It will give them.
This certification from IIM, Vizag, and TCS, both are leading brands, will put you in an advantageous position. And because the people who essentially you put your CV in the LinkedIn, and the people who recruit from LinkedIn, the employers, they use these days AI. And one of the important things in the AI, two important things, there are many other criteria. The moment the AI picks up a tag in your biodata as IIM or TCS, you will be naturally get selected by the AI for shortlisted, not selected, shortlisted for the interview. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, Father. Okay. Can we go to the next slide? Yeah, and we just wanted to give you all some basic snapshots of our cohort one. So these are all self-explanatory. So nearly 81% did manage to get the certificate of completion. And the batch was very, very well spread out, and we had quite a number of experienced professionals. So this is where, that knowledge exchange happens. So yeah, can we go to the next slide, please? Yeah, and we got a great feedback from cohort one. So we are also trying to bring a couple of the first cohort to come and provide some testimonials. We are kind of working out if they can join one of our subsequent jobinars or webinars. So stay tuned. Yeah, can we go to the next slide, please? Yeah, these are some of the recruitment partners we are actively working in, particularly for the second cohort onwards. Is there a way that we can give them some upfront information about our candidates? Would they be interested? And also, we are leaving no stone unturned to try and get you all, your dream job. So we are putting a lot of efforts. So yeah, we just thought we'll share with you. Yeah, can we go to the next slide, please? Yeah, the program fee is 35,400. This is as of today. This includes all relevant taxes. So the basic course fee is 30,000 plus applicable taxes. And the program start date is 27 July. And the tentative end date is 16th November 2025. Both these dates could change due to exigencies. Okay, can we go to the next slide, please? Yeah, and this is an important slide. Like a lot of you would have questions like, how is it that TCS is rolling out a course? So if you are going to look for a similar course with any other IIMs, they don't come below 1 lakh or 1,25,000. You can yourself go and do that check. So how is it that we are offering at nearly 1/5 the price? And this is the secret, right? So we have anything and everything that all those programs have. The two red ticks, right? The campus immersion. So I will tell you the only red tick is, there are two. I have not included that as well. I'll speak about that. The campus immersion, right? So what the other IIMs do is, they have this feature called campus immersion where they make the students stay in their campus for maybe a week's time, right? That is good. It's a good feature. It is a good feature for people who are being sponsored by the companies or who are working, who don't have monetary constraints, because campus immersion is not going to add any value in your job search. Nobody's like Ashok said, right? He has posted a job requirement. if somebody goes and tells Ashok that I've stayed in IIM Ahmedabad for 7 days, is Ashok going to give him the job? He says, good luck to you. Hope you had a good time in Ahmedabad. What is it that you know? So this is technically from a job or a skill perspective, this is a non-value add, right? This is more so this is the main reason, and this itself comes around 30-40K, right? So we took it out. The second is a lot of the other IIMs, they give an alumnus status, right? So the requirement is you have to have a minimum 6. Again, the alumnus status also doesn't guarantee anything, right? It is because the moment you are and all these IIMs courses, they don't do anything that we are doing when we spoke about lining up interviews, working. They don't do that, right? So from every perspective, this course is. I don't think there is any competition for this course in the market as of now. Thank you. Can we go to the next slide? I think this is the last slide, and yeah, you can just go to our website and enroll. The link is given in the chat. Now we are coming towards the end of the program, so we would just like to host one more poll. Now that you have heard, now that you have got to know a lot more details than what you would have when you joined this session, would you be interested to study or enroll in this program where you will get taught by IIM professors directly? The Slido poll, the poll will come up. Please do respond.
So Mohan, I have to join another meeting. Can I drop off, or are there any further questions for me?
Ashok, I know you have a, so I'll just take 2 minutes, Ashok, some final parting comments, some final advice for,
I'll wait. If there are any questions also, I can take.
Yeah. So you can maybe start, Ashok. I think the polling they've done, so you can start. I know you have a hard stop.
Yeah, I think that most of it is covered, but I would like to emphasize one point, that in today's marketplace, it is the learning that makes the difference for the job seekers, for making your career. So in your career, we have to constantly learn.
Right.
And we have to constantly learn industry relevant skills. If we learn something, let's say Sanskrit or Pali, I'm not demeaning them. Of course, you can learn if you have passion for it. My grandfather also learned Sanskrit. But my point, trying to say, but that is for passion. But to be industry relevant, you need to learn things which are hot topics or hot skills. And I would say there are many hot skills. And what we have tried to tell you today, one of the hot skills is supply chain management. If you have interest and if you meet the prerequisite, you can really consider it. And you can also do your own research. Don't go by what Mohan said or I have said. You do your own research in the market, and then you can take a judgment. And I wish you all the best and Godspeed. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashok. Yeah. So we have one.
I will drop now because I have another meeting to attend.
Okay, sure. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Thank you. Any audience questions, please post. We have like another 5 to 6 minutes. We can cover those questions, guys. If you have any questions, if you have any clarifications. So one question has come from Rajkumar. Rajkumar is from non-IT, took course in MER and Stack. Am I eligible for this? What is MER and Stack? Is it, Raj, as I said, supply chain has anything for everyone, right? So long you have I'm guessing you have some coding skills, and you have a little bit of a technical background, you can make a killing. If you have very good soft skills, you can, because the roles that Ashok spoke about, right? Procurement, logistics, warehouse management, and all needs a lot of interpersonal skills and communication skills. So you can make a killing. So this is one, field where you have a lot of scope, right? And somebody who's into development, as a lot of GCCs are going to India, they're shifting their, end roles to India. So GCCs will offer a great opportunity. Yeah. So yeah, I feel you should do this. Shahzad ul Khan, PVOC in software development. What is it? So I'm not clear about the question. If you can just rephrase your question and put it again, I'll try and answer this. Any other questions? Will this certification be helpful for persons with career gaps? I actually feel yes, because see, career in India, career gap is seen as a crime, which is not the case, right? So long we have taken a career break for something useful, I don't think anyway. But and that is where I think this could actually mitigate that gap, right? I mean, I think this could be very, very useful for somebody with a career gap to kind of convince the panel that, you know, even though there was a gap through this course, now he's come abreast, he has come up to speed with the latest technology. And this brand can, no, this actually will make a very strong case for someone with a career gap to do this course, because it could help bridge some of the, you know, during the break. I don't know how long the gap is, but even 6 months, the technologies are changing so fast. I mean, till 6 months back, we didn't have the tariff era. Now we have the tariff era, right? Which is bringing about a significant change, right? So even 6 months is pretty long in a very dynamic career field like supply chain. So this course will definitely help convince the panel that, you know, you are not out of tune with the industry. Yeah. Not only for e-com, I will actually say supply chain is like your heart and blood for a company, right? It is. See, we can have a body, we can have a company, we can have we can have HR, we can have finance, we can have sales, we can have everything. But without supply chain, it is like a body without a heart and blood, which is as simple as that. The body, it is as good as being dead, right? So supply chain is this function that binds a corporate, and it actually, without supply chain, there is nothing called a business. It is even more very, very important for e-commerce. So let me give you an example, right? A company like TCS, right? We also have supply chain, right? What is our supply chain? Let's say that we have to procure 1,000 laptops for our employees, right? So our supply chain comes into picture, our procurement manager. Okay. Now all these things can happen with a delay of 1 day, 2 day. You know, we negotiate all of that, right? But for a quick commerce, and this is what I think Ashok was speaking, and I also kind of, in quick commerce, what is happening is everything has to happen instantly, which means what is supply chain, right? Supply chain is basically, there are two things to supply chain: converting your raw materials into finished goods and making sure that finished good reaches the end customer. This is what supply chain. These are the only two things that a supply chain does, and these are the only two things that a business also does, right? So that is why. Now let us take the example. My daughter, I will take my personal example. Me and my daughter, we have a craving for ice cream. Out of the blue, at 9:30 in the night, my daughter will say, I need ice cream. We go to Zepto, we see our ice cream, we order it. That ice cream reaches us within 10 minutes. How is that possible? Which means they would already have planned the demand. Like, what is the average demand for ice creams for this particular brand of ice cream? That is part of supply chain, the demand forecasting, right? And then they would have done from which all area this demand is coming, right? That is the second part of supply chain. Then they would have found a near about, let's say that I am ordering, they see that 20% of an order from Bangalore comes from this X place for, let's say, Domino's Pizza. They will strategically position, let's say, a Swiggy or a Zomato. They will, at any point of time, they will have 3 or 4 of their delivery boys standing there. And that is what you mean by demand planning and scheduling, right? So making something available in 10 minutes, it requires huge effort, and that is where supply chain, without great supply chain, you cannot do it. So it's very if you take my me as an example, I am not an engineering guy, so I am a pure play accountant. I'm a cost accountant, a banker, and then I went to IIM Calcutta. So I was even in IIM Calcutta, I didn't do operations. I did only finance and strategy. I was never a engineering guy. But post my IIM, I got chosen by Genpact. So that is where my journey into finance and accounting and supply chain. So all the accounts I have handled, we have had major pieces of supply chain. So I was very interested. The first from the first day, right, when my first supply chain team spoke to me about strategic sourcing, how do we do a cost benefit analysis for one of us. So I got attracted and I have not looked back. So yeah, I think we're at the top of the hour. Any other question?
No more. I think we are running short of time.
Yeah. So my request is, guys, for those who have stayed back, thanks for your time. Don't think twice. At this price, you will not get a course with such good pedigree and with such good brands. And we are also kind of trying to reach out to potential employees. So this cohort will definitely see a lot more traction from a job perspective. So wish you all the best and thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Have a good day.